Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to analyse the data that's been gathered through the monitored behaviours form. So the monitored behaviours form is for high frequency behaviours, and this is where the data is put in. So you'll see all your data here. As ever, when you're going in to analyse information, click on the additional window, go into analysis. I'm going to show you trend first. So what we're going to look at is the monitored behaviours form. We're going to look at the behaviour specific. We're going to add here total. This is really important. Otherwise you get the number of forms that have been put in rather than the totals on the forms. So that's there. And we're then going to filter that down to just one behaviour because it's much easier to see the trend with one behaviour. So I'm going to filter that down to biting. Okay. And then I'm going to filter that to Anne. Just one client, because it won't make sense otherwise. I'm going to change that resolution to weekly. And I'm just going to change that date so that we can more easily see that. So this shows the frequency of biting over this period of time on a weekly resolution. Okay, so say we want to look at the severity. Has the severity changed? We can see the frequencies going down and then up a little bit. But what about the severity? So we'll use trend again. And this time, really important to remember, we are looking on the monitored behaviours link form. So that's a little bit that pops out when you fill that data in on the actual form. So here we're going to look at average severity. Again, we're going to change this to total and we're going to make sure it's on sum. And then we are going to filter to a specific behaviour. This gets complicated this little bit. So you put your behaviour bit in there, then you put equal to, and then we choose the behaviour that we're actually looking at, which is biting. And as you can see, if I spell it right, it will pop in. Then we plus, so it pops up to the top there. And then we also want to narrow it down to the particular person that we're thinking about, because this data is showing biting for everybody at the moment in terms of severity. Add the equals again. Put Anne in there. Press the plus button. It's at the top. And then apply. So if we have a look at this, and it is much easier if we look on the bar chart for this, and we change that resolution to weekly again, and we change our date range so it's a little bit easier to see. This is now showing severity. So it's important to think about these colours here. So we're not seeing as many high. We are seeing quite a few low severities, and we're seeing moderate. So these are the number of instances. The number here is around the instances where a moderate rating was given. So that's how you can see changes in severity. And then I'm just going to show you now using trend. We're using tally, where you can look at what day of the week and what time of day you're getting the highest recordings. So we're going to look again on the linked form. We're going to look at session. We'll look at day first. In this secondary field, we're not going to put anything. We're going to put that through the linked form. We want total here again. And we don't want counts because that's the number of forms you've put in. What we want is the actual number of behaviours, not number of forms. Then we're going to, like we did before, go into this linked form. We're going to look specifically at Anne, because at the moment we're bringing up all the data across the whole system plus, so it pops up to the top. And we're going to look at just biting. It's much easier to look at changes and issues in relation to one behaviour if you're collecting multiple behaviours. Add that to the top, press apply. Now we can see that Saturday, Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday are, if we rag rate that, we can see that helps us to see it a little bit more. Now what we can also do is we can just change, so we know Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we can then look at the session as well. So we're looking at the afternoons, and we're looking at Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now we can cross-reference those two pieces of information, but it will show us the number of forms to put in rather than the total number of behaviours. So it is useful information. So if I just take that total out, I can then cross-reference this information. You see that number changes because it's number of entries now. If we want to look at session versus day, we're still seeing a lot in the afternoon. And on Thursday, there was an evening issue as well. You can click on these and that will show you those two specific ones. So you can look at what's happening there. Okay, that's it for now. It is more complicated than the standard analysis. We will have a solution to that going forwards. But for now, keep rewinding the video and obviously contact me if you need any support.